Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Appreciate it. Look at this. This from the CBS News website. And, of course, it comes from the CBS News website because it's actually about a story that appeared on the Early Show. A show that is just a bad imitation of the Today Show. Not one of those moronic shows from New York City where they've got a big window and a bunch of yutzes waving in the window, holding up signs. New York is just full of these stupid shows. Does that really make you want to watch a show? By the way, we have one show like that here. It's the Fox Sportsnet show called Southern California Sports Report, which originates at Staples Center. And they've got a window looking out onto 11th Street and Figueroa. And there you have the 20 or so gangbangers and nutcases who wave over the shoulders of the news anchors, sports news anchors. Does that really make you want to watch a show more? When you see those big, fat Midwestern housewives on the Today Show waving at Katie, does that really make you want to watch the show more? I don't understand that. Early Show's one of those shows. It's the show with the least number of viewers that does this, but it does it. Anyway, I'm not singling out the Early Show. They all do it. Good Morning America, Today Show, and the Early Show. And it's always stupid. I do not want to see those people in the background. I don't. You know what? If you don't have a studio audience, put them behind the cameras where we can't see them, like Regis and Kelly. Don't be putting them behind the people who are talking. It's very distracting and annoying, and I don't understand what benefit there is to it. I don't get it. I guess I'm just not a TV mind. Anyway, this story is from the from the Early Show. See, I even was going to call it the Today Show because all they've done is kind of, yes, 5 letters, Early and Today, same. This is Rain Man speaking, yes. But, yeah, I mean, the Early Show is just a copy of the Today Show. They're all at the same time. They look the same. Anyway, here is the story. For decades, says CBSNews.com, sperm donors have been willing to help infertile couples have children, as long as their identities remained a secret. But what happens if the donor wants to meet his offspring? You mean there's somebody like that? CBS News correspondent Susan McGinnis found out for the Early Show. She went to Somerset, Massachusetts to meet a single mom and the anonymous donor her 2 kids now call Dad. They knew they didn't have a dad in their family, and that was okay with them, Rachel McGee says about her children. Until recently, Aaron and Leah McGee had never met their father, and what's more, neither had their mother. If anybody said, "Where is your daddy?" they would just look at the person and say, "We don't have a daddy in our family," Rachel McGee says. "We have a donor," is what they would say. McGee used a sperm donor to have her children and signed an agreement that the children couldn't meet the donor until they turned 18. But when McGee learned about a website created to bring siblings of donors together, she took a chance and posted a note with her donor's number. Here's what she put. He says, "I just put, donor, if you're out there, thank you. These are the most beautiful children in the world. They're the greatest gift. We wish you everything good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. McGee's sperm donor, Mike Rubino, immediately wrote back. I'll bet he has romantic memories of all of this. Taking a copy of FHM and a Dixie cup into a private room. I'm sure it's very romantic to think back on that. As soon as I read the message, he says, I hoped that, and I felt that it was likely that I would be in some way a part of their lives. And there it was, McGee says, and I said, oh my God, this is him. Rubino says McGee phoned him and they talked for a long time. That brought it home that I have kids, he says. They have names. They have ages. They became absolutely real at this point. It was emotional, McGee says. It was surreal. It was beyond description for both of us. The two exchanged pictures over the Internet. Rubino said that when he saw those little faces, it was, quote, incredible. Both of us in that very first conversation said, I just want you to know that I don't want anything from you, McGee says. Rubino, divorced with no kids of his own, had always been open to connecting with his biological children. He wrote and called Aaron and Leah and sent Christmas presents. I thought, this guy is actually sincere, McGee says. It seems like he may actually be interested in these kids as human beings. Rubino even wanted to be called Dad. Oh, my God. This past February, McGee took her kids to meet their dad in Los Angeles. And by the end of a week, a new family was born. I love the kids, Rubino says. They immediately bonded with me. Well, Leah took a little while to get used to me, but she is now. CBS News brought Rubino to Massachusetts for his second visit with McGee and the kids. He played with them both and even went to an assembly at Aaron's school, a first for Rubino. I thought I'd go in thinking, well, let's get this over with, but no. It was very sentimental for me, he says. His only turmoil, he says, comes from questioning. How much time do these kids need and how much can I provide for them? Dr. Cappy Rothman, founder of the California Cryobank, says, I can't think of one that said, boy, I just look forward to meeting my child when they reach the age of 18. Not one. Rothman says most sperm donors prefer their identities be kept secret. Rubino's response has been a wonderful surprise. He was happy, the kids were happy, she was happy, Dr. Rothman says. It was wonderful bringing everybody together. It may seem impossible, but McGee and Rubino believe they can make this arrangement work with nightly calls and more visits. I believe that he has that level of loyalty, McGee says, and he has that level of commitment that he will continue to be dad to them as long as he is alive. I am astonished by how lucky I am. Now get this. This is the even more interesting part of this story. McGee isn't the only woman who got lucky for choosing Rubino. There was a child in San Diego he sees. And recently, Rubino learned of 2 more women, each for the child he fathered. He says, I'm a little concerned if any others come forward, only because I don't know how much time I could spend with everyone, depending on how many actually start to turn up. But these kids are now absolutely a huge part of my life. Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? You got to be kidding me. Though McGee once had visions of a truly happy ending, that Rubino might become the perfect mate for her, all she expects now is for him to be there constantly. For Aaron and Leah, she says he's their biological father and they see him that way. And I don't think there is any substitute for that. McGee is thinking about moving to Los Angeles to be closer to Rubino. Rubino says he wants and enjoys having these children in his life, but not on a daily basis as a full-time father. Why would somebody want that? By the way, don't let this heartwarming story convince you boys to become a sperm donor. Because even though this sounds like it has a happy ending, I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before people start suing for child support from sperm donors. It's only a matter of time before that little deposit you made in a Dixie cup comes knocking at your door, wanting a relationship with you like Mike Rubino has with his kids. Why in the world would you want to be a sperm donor? And more than that, why in the world would you want to meet the children your sperm created?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I don't think you're anything like your air personality.
Maybe this is just a small slice of the whole pie.
Good or bad?
I guess I have to leave that up to the rest of humanity to decide. The Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. We're talking about the anonymous sperm donor who agreed to meet the kids his sperm created. He's got kids with like 4 different women. Why would anybody do that? Don't you think they're crazy? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Rory on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
First-time caller. I wanted to give you a little bit of insight. I've considered this. I used to be a pussy, and that's what I considered it. What the deal is I've went off after single mothers, that type of stuff, and I quit doing that a few years ago. Got more tail in the last couple of years than I have the whole rest of my life. I'm 44 years old, and the thing is that here I am. I'm not very successful in life. I'm not the most desirable man in life. But, hey, I kind of want to do something, procreate, and I don't want to have any screw-ups. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay. And the thing is that, I don't want to have a family, don't want to get started with somebody that I meet. I've always wanted to make sure that I knew somebody and had a life with them before I went ahead and planted my seed. And the thing is, that hasn't happened to me. When I was young, when I was a punk kid, I thought, hey, I wanted to get married right out of high school. Then when I was in my 20s, I figured, well, hey, I was too young to get married. I'm having too much fun. And, after listening to you, I've had the best time of my life. But, I have thought about doing this. And the thing is, I did not want to go ahead and do things because I did not want a failure. I did not want to get a family started and not be able to provide for a family. But I kind of wanted something out there. And
why? Why would you want that?
I would have considered, if I did that, hey, I'd like to meet them after my financial obligation was over.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you even thought about that.
This may stun you, but, hey, if I don't have any obligation and meet somebody after they've grown up, and that's selfish, and that's kind of stupid, but, hey, I'd like to see what I could have created, what I did create if I would have done that. But I don't want any of the financial obligations because I've lived a life where I'm having a hard enough time taking care of myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you didn't do it.
Well, yeah, I'm glad I didn't do it.
I do not understand why. I still don't understand why you or anybody, if they did do it, would want to meet their creations, because there could be hundreds of them.
Well, the thing is, I dated. I love kids. I love kids, and that's why I dated single mothers. And that's neither here nor there right now. But I enjoy kids in my life, and at that time, way back, I didn't have any nieces, didn't have any nephews. I do have somebody that is the love of my life for the last 17 years, and her daughter's like 19 now, and never had any financial obligation to her since the kid wasn't mine, but at least I was lucky enough to have somebody that was the closest thing that will probably ever be a child for me. I'm not too old.
Well, there are ways to get close to kids without having them.
Exactly.
I have worked with kids. I was a junior achievement teacher at one time in an inner-city school.
Right.
I have taught kids how to play baseball. There's things you can do without having or being responsible for kids, or without even having to date a single mother.
Absolutely, and what I had done back in, say 20 or 15 years ago, I worked at a residential independent living program for juvenile parolees. I lasted there for about 16 months. It was a real short burnout time. I was there from 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock Sunday night until 8 o'clock Friday morning, averaged about 5 hours of sleep a night.
Hang on a second, Rory. Jody, what did you want to say to Rory?
My God, this guy's killing my brain. It's like he doesn't understand how stupid he sounds. I don't have any money. I don't have any redeeming qualities. I have nothing to bring to the table, but I just like to have a kid and not have any responsibility, and then later on see what I created? Look in the toilet.
I understand what you're saying, and hey,
no,
maybe
you don't even understand English.
Maybe that's part of the reason why I never did do it.
Dude, you're the reason that there should be computer chips installed in every male when they're born, so they never create without a test. Just the fact that you even thought about it scares me.
I never, as far as I know, I don't have any kids out there. And
as far as you know, how do you even get laid?
Well, hey, hey, Tom, listen to Tom. Tom can get anybody laid.
Wow, Tom, good. You're a miracle worker, man.
Well, there you go, Jody, Rory. Thank you for the calls. 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Justin on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well.
This is the exact reason why I would not donate sperm. I don't want people knocking on my door going, "Hey, Dad, how's it going?"
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would exactly be my luck, and that's exactly what I don't want.
How would you like Mom showing up at your door like Jane Jetson? Hey, how about some money?
Yeah, no kidding. That's exactly why. I mean, I don't know how much money you get for doing this stuff, but...
You get like anywhere from $50 to $150 to make a donation?
Yeah, I'd rather work, 10 hours.
By the way, last I knew a donation was when you gave something for free. This is not a donation.
Well, yeah, selling your sperm or whatever, but still, I would not want anyone, knocking on my door or calling me up and saying, "Hey, by the way, I'm your son or your daughter," because, I don't know, I mean, I'm 22 years old, and that's the last thing I want to have.
Right.
Plus, like you were saying with the last call, you could have hundreds of kids out there. Now, the likelihood of that happening.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to spend time with all of them.
What's that?
I'm going to be a dad to all 97 kids.
I mean, you might as well be Mormon or something. I don't know, So, I don't know. That's just crazy. The last thing I want to do is, and then that guy thinking that, that's how you could have kids and stuff, and by donating sperm, I don't even know. So, no, that's no good.
Well, as I've been telling everybody, the reason never to donate sperm is because
I tell no one.
They are now revealing this information. They're now making it easy for people to find out who donated.
Yeah, no kidding.
And there you are in college trying to make a little extra money to buy books.
Yeah.
And then years later, suddenly your offspring starts showing up. "Daddy, I want to have a relationship with you."
Yeah, that's not what I want.
Or wait till I'm telling you, the mothers start suing for child support. It's coming.
No, I agree with you. I totally agree. I could totally see that happening. I mean, people sue for the stupidest stuff and want stuff nowadays. I mean, remember the McDonald's thing where people sued for spilling hot coffee on them,
Yes.
So who knows what's next. So I would not doubt it one bit that they'd start suing for child support.
Absolutely. Justin, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Brian on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Great.
Tom, I'm hoping this doesn't come back to haunt me. I've literally flushed millions of kids down the toilet.
Many of my offspring are on the hand towels of some of America's finest hotels.
I'm right there with you. Thanks a lot, Tom. Blow me up.
Here you go, Brian. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Robbie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Great.
I was just calling. I knew a few people a few girls that had their eggs donated, and they were getting upwards of $4,000 or $5,000.
Well, you know why that is.
Why is that?
Because getting eggs out of a woman is a lot harder than getting sperm out of a man. It's surgery.
Yeah, but I mean...
That's why. A lot less women are willing to do it because it's a very involved procedure. There frequently is pain involved, and it is surgery. It has the risks of surgery.
But there's not also going to be a couple thousand of your offspring running around afterwards.
Well, that's true because you're only donating so many eggs.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you got the surgery and everything, but if it was me, I'd do that for $5,000 any day.
You would?
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not creative and ambitious enough to go out and figure out a way how to earn a living like a normal person?
Hey, I work for a living. Some extra cash right there. Wouldn't be too bad.
And what happens if later on people start demanding child support from you? You're laughing now.
I don't know.
Well, what happens then?
There's always the drawback.
The $4,000 to $5,000 you made will pale in comparison to what you'd have to pay down the line. And that's even more true for the $150 you get for sperm donations.
Yeah. But, all right, man.
All right, Robbie.
Throw that in there.
I'm glad you did.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Why can't, someone court a person anymore? It's all about getting in their pants.
It is all about getting in their pants, dear. And you know what? For men, it always has been.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Boys Night Out is coming to the legendary Paramount Theater in Seattle. It's coming Friday, September 30th at 8:30 p.m. And I'm very, very excited about this because, as you know, Boys Night Out was a sellout at L.A.'s Wiltern Theater back in June. And the concept is the same. No chicks on stage, except as eye candy. But I mean, all guy comedians to an all guy audience. Women are not invited to this event. It's for guys. It's male bonding for guys. And it is all about saying all the things that we never, ever, ever could say on the radio. Oh, sure. We'll talk about things we discuss on the radio, but we'll say them in a way we could never get away with here. Bobby Slayton's our headliner. John DeResta will be there. And, of course, I am your MC, and there's more coming, by the way. And you're going to love this show. Half the fun is the 2,800 guys who are going to show up and how they react, how they interact. It's an outrageous experience, and it's one you won't want to miss. It's Boys Night Out. It's coming to the Paramount Theater Friday, September 30th. That's Friday, September 30th, 8:30 p.m. For tickets, you can go to blowmeuptom.com. We click you right through to the site to buy the tickets. Or, while you're thinking about it, you can pick up your cell phone right now while you're driving. You can call this number, 206-529-4051. That's 206-529-4051 for Boys Night Out. You can also go to Ticketmaster.com Very exciting. And coming soon, Boys Night Out's coming to the Inland Empire. We'll have an announcement coming soon. Boys Night Out coming to the Inland Empire. You've been asking us to come to the Inland Empire. We have not done a listener party. We've not ever done an appearance in the Inland Empire of any kind. Our first appearance will be Boys Night Out. Date and venue to be announced within 10 days. We will have an announcement on that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to Scott on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Doing okay.
Good to hear it. If I had the opportunity to talk to the guy that you were mentioning who was the donor and is now so in love with his offspring and then finding out the other offspring, I just would want to confront the guy for being such an egomaniac and so arrogant that he's saying, I want to be in touch with these, but not full time. It's like, in or out, pal. What good does he think he's doing these kids by being this, guy on the phone who calls him up and cares so much about him? But then, she's talking about moving out with the kids to be closer to him, and he doesn't want to show up every day. What's the point?
He said he does not want to be a full-time dad, and sure enough, he's got kids in San Diego and who knows where else.
Exactly. He could have hundreds of kids running around. Is he going to draw the line somewhere? I mean, it's like, put up or shut up. Either be involved with these kids or, I don't know. It's all about him and what he's getting. He gets to
all about ego. This is all about ego. Who cares?
It's narcissism. It's narcissism.
That's right.
It's like, I want to see my offspring.
That's
right.
right.
Being a father is not easy. Like, do it or don't do it, because you're doing these kids no favors.
No, I totally agree with you. Thank you for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Jesus on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Father. How are you?
I'm okay, son.
Excellent. It is a pleasure to talk to you. Let me tell you, I think we should look at it from different perspectives. Maybe this guy wants to meet his kids because he's trying to avoid child support. By seeing them and spending some time with them, maybe the girls, the mothers, won't get him from child support. What do you think?
Well, the fact is, the mother did not know who he was. Did not hire a lawyer or anything, gave him the option of responding or not, and he chose voluntarily. There's no child support being paid right now, and I think there's a much bigger danger of child support being demanded if he gets involved in the kids' lives and then loses interest or becomes too busy.
Correct. I agree with you. But he's being straightforward, saying, I don't want to be a full-time
What happens to this guy when this chick moves to Los Angeles to be closer to him? And then he's like, hey, I didn't want to be a full-time father. I told you.
Right. Then the chick can just bite him on the back,
right.
Bite him in the ass.
Suddenly the hormones kick in, and suddenly there she is hiring an attorney and suing him. That's where it's going to go. 1-800-5800-TOM. Joseph on the Tom Leykis Show. Oh, he disappeared at the last second. Mason on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
I'm okay, Mason.
Long-time listener, first time getting through, actually.
Ah, cool.
Well, I got a little story for you. You can actually sell your left testicle, the one that actually produces. There's a $50,000 bounty on the ball, on the left ball.
Really?
There is.
You get more money for a Barry Bonds ball.
They say yes, you probably could. They say $50,000 to $130,000. I say, hey, if you don't need to use it, why you need it, right? I will be at that listener party for sure. That's on my list for sure.
Excellent.
I'm up here in Seattle, so.
Boys Night Out, September 30th. Do you have your tickets yet?
I'm going to get on that right now, actually. I'm headed to Ticketmaster in person right there, get my tickets in my hand.
Excellent.
So, yeah, you keep that up. Keep the wisdom, man. I like what you're doing around here.
Thank you, Mason.
All right.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Gary on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing, man?
Okay,
First time
Gary.
I've talked to you here.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? That guy that called about donating eggs, if he was a lady, that guy's stupid. That has nothing to do with guys donating their sperm. Usually when a lady donates eggs, it has to do with people that can't have babies. So that guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Well, by the same token, if he doesn't understand why it's $4,000 for eggs and, $100 for sperm.
Exactly, and that $100 is going to get you in a whole heap of trouble. You know, and like you said, anybody can be coming up, knocking on your door saying, hey, Dad, and then now you're going to be out thousands of dollars. Yeah. I mean, these guys really have to realize what they're doing. And like you said, rather than getting yourself, I guess, pleasured off in a Dixie cup, I'd rather do it in a tissue.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
And then toss it.
And then toss it.
Like your last girlfriend.
Whatever. Hey, listen, my wife's first time she's listening to the show, too, and I don't know you know, if you can take me out with that guy and the horse and all this stuff. She's never heard it before.
Oh, Edam Claw style.
There
sure we can do
man.
that. Here you go. Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. Joseph. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Pretty good, Joseph.
Right on. Well, I got some questions I got to ask you. I was approached the other week about being a sperm donor for a female or a couple, and he's sterile. Well, they offered me $8,000 to do it. Well, the thing is, I need to sign a contract saying I won't contact the kid, I won't be liable for child support or anything like that. And I've asked all my friends, and they said they would do it in a heartbeat. Well, I don't have no kids. I don't want kids, but I don't want them to have my firstborn either. So what should I do?
You should never, ever, ever donate sperm. Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
And why is that?
Because, number one, the laws are changing. They lie to you, and they tell you, oh, don't worry about it. No one will ever know it's you. You're anonymous. But there are people who are born to a mother and a sperm donor who are suing for this information and getting it.
Even though if I sign a legal contract and get it notarized and everything like that?
Meaningless when it comes to children.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Good deal.
These people have all signed contracts. They have confidentiality agreements and the like. Doesn't matter.
Really?
Number two, once they find out your name, they can then come after you for child support.
Uh-huh.
So, no matter how much, I don't care what they tell you.
Yeah.
They want your sperm. They will tell you whatever they have to tell you.
Yeah.
They can't guarantee that this won't happen.
Uh-huh.
And if they can't guarantee it, it's not worth what you're going to get. Because you might lose a lot more down the line.
Oh, yeah, because I figured 8,000 is only going to last so long. And you figure
That's right.
I got a kid out for 18 years who can come after me.
That's right. And even if he didn't come after you for money, do you want complete strangers coming to your door? Dad!
Yeah. No, I sure don't.
Yeah, you don't. Is right.
Yeah.
So I'm telling people not to donate sperm.
Okay.
Do not donate sperm. Do not.
Good deal. Thanks a lot.
Not a problem.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Sam. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Tom.
Sam.
Yeah, I have a little problem, too. I got this bitch pregnant. Well, I didn't get her pregnant. My sperm did. And the bitch is right next door to me and collecting child support from me.
Well, wait a minute. Did you do this through a sperm bank, or you just went over and made a donation personally?
Sperm bank.
So how did that happen to end up in the hands of the girl next door?
Well, how it happened was she left the kid at my front door. And a few months later, there's a house for sale right down the street from me.
But wait a minute. When you donate to a sperm bank, usually you do it anonymously.
This time they found me.
How?
I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Tom.
We're out of time, and the prank you're about to try to pull doesn't sound like it's very promising, and I'm not going to let it happen. By the way, Boys Night Out tickets available now in Seattle, 206-529-4051. It's 206-529-4051.
The Tom Leykis Show.